Hello, I'm Dr. Lisa Templeton, and I'm here today to do a softening meditation. The world is in great need of softening right now. Many hard hearts are living in the world right now, and it is so hard to love in this climate. It's so hard to expand our hearts in a way that is healthy for us, that vibrates and resonates at, a higher elevation, that brings more love and care into the world. And I know there are many of us out there who want more of that in our lives and more connection, remembering the oneness within us all. And so our first step really starts within. If we are not softened even within ourselves, then how can we possibly soften with someone else, even someone with different beliefs that's totally different than you? So let's start within. So we're going to take a nice deep breath. And another. Just go within. Looking inside of ourselves. Just checking out the body. Checking in, checking out. Right now we're checking in, we're plugging into what's going on inside of us. No judgment, just a mindful attention. And as a wonderful psychologist and meditation teacher by the name of Tara Brach talks about, she says that we move from a ice, like a solid ice, the wall, to water, and then to gas. So I want us to think about our softening in this way, that there's a melting happening. And then we move from what is solid, the ice form, to water, to gas, to the breaking down of each element, the hydrogen, the oxygen, that there's this micro, macro element that we're holding at the same time. It's okay for two things to be true or more. It is not one way or the other. So it's holding that, and this might feel any tension in your body, strained, anything. We're breathing in, just imagining this melting that goes on. There are a few things that we can think about. It's this beautiful metaphor of melting and softening. But how do we do that? What are the elements that we need to take into consideration here? And so I want to bring some of those things forward. Okay, so first, we've got to be kind. Kindness is, You know, the curve of a smile, when somebody looks at you and there's that smile. It's this acknowledgement that everything inside me, feelings, sensations, all of the above, everything outside of me, people, items, pets, animals, nature, trees, they're all sacred. Every little bit. Kindness honors that. It's like, yeah, you're sacred. You matter. You mean something. As we all do. Hard to feel sometimes. But kindness helps. A little kindness can really go a long way in spreading light into the world. And many focus on that externally. Today I want us to focus in. Shine your light within yourself. Be kind. A smile. A pain in your stomach. You have a tight muscle. Maybe a headache. Just soften up with that part. It can be inconvenient. It can hurt. It can really not feel good to live in our body. We try to bring an air of kindness. It helps to soften a bit. Another element I want to bring forward is flexibility. We can't live in this rigid way of this is the way, black or white, it's this way or that way. This is not working. It's not helping us remember our connection. It's creating more and more division. And the division is not just within people and groups of people and, taking sides and things like that. It's happening all around. It's also, we're taking sides within. This element of flexibility is so that we stay open. To soften is to create flexibility. We think of that curve of kindness. Think of the curve that a tree makes when it's being pressed down by the wind or a horrible storm. It's going to bend, not break. So we need to bend when we need to and understand that part of that is acceptance, just learning to be with whatever is. It's easier said than done without resistance, and the resistance creates a little more of a hardening. Notice that. It's not serving us, even within. And this is not a process of like, okay, soften up with a bunch of bullies or whatever. This is about softening with ourselves first here. So another element I want to bring forward is gentleness. We are needing to move forward toward something, toward what we want, toward our intentions. We are not needing to run from something that is chasing us. A lot of times when we're being pushed, we're pushing ourselves in such a way that it feels like we're running from something that is scary. It hardens us. Take a deep breath and just allow yourself to gently move where you would like to go. Set your intention for certain things. Move in that direction, not running from a critical voice that says, get going, you better do this, you should be doing this. Back to a smile, right? And even laughing at some of these thoughts because they're there. Just have to breathe. And so this comes with a lot of compassion and love. These are the elements I also need to bring forward with softening and melting the ice that's within us. So just take a nice deep breath here. We're just, kind of listening and meditating at the same time. We're mindfully taking in this information and practicing it. And so, compassion and love. And one thing I really want to say about gentleness as well as compassion and love, they're all kind of mucked in with this idea of passivity. This idea that, we just sit back and we let things happen and we're gentle about it, and, kind of like, just giving a pat on the back and here's your trophy, and, right? But yet, no. To be gentle can also be very firm with love, with compassion, this understanding, empathy of what it may feel like. What is really feeling like in here? Do I need to nap or do I need to nudge, right? So taking a moment to remember this is, as, Deepak Chopra, many, many great minds have all talked in various ways about love in action, this act of power that we take for, it might just be smiling at someone at a grocery store, or, again, this active movement we are taking with ourselves to bring a softening within. How can we I wish everyone else would get real soft, and then if there's some sort of way we're not being soft with ourselves, that's where we can work. That's active, because our neural pathways are not built like that. We are conditioned like society and capitalism has taught us. So we want to move into this softening, into this melting, which, is love in action and compassion in action, patience in action. So one more element I want to bring forward, and then we're going to have a little bit of time. And that's a feeling of spaciousness. Just giving yourself some space. Notice it right now with your breath. Because spaciousness, there's patience. It's like, I got space for you. I will create space for you because you matter. Right here. Just like every other single person matters. If we take on this approach, everyone is equal, but then we don't deserve, to get self-care time, or we don't deserve whatever this, type of thinking is totally capitalistic. I want to really normalize that. But if that is how we are thinking, how is that equal? How are we not equal with everyone else? We must be. And when we come to that conclusion, we fill our cup much more easily, and then we give from the overflow. The spaciousness begins. And even the spaciousness of, I've noticed my cup at times where it feels bigger. When I create the space, when I soften within myself, when I'm kind, when I'm gentle, flexible, patient, loving, in action, in empowerment, not passive, you're doing the best you can. Of course, we are doing our best. And we have to remember that. Every single person is doing their best. And our best changes from day to day, moment to moment. Check in. What do you need? You need to nudge? You need to chill? That's gentleness. So let's take this time to notice any kind of, whether it be tension, maybe just some tightness our hearts. Imagine that energy is expanding out in all directions of your heart right now. And you're just within yourself. You're totally safe. You can trust. You can trust yourself. You're a very trustworthy person. The negative thought patterns are not you, not who you are. Notice a melting of your muscles, in the face, and the shoulders, torso, hips, legs, all the places we carry tension in our bodies. Breathe into that space with kindness, a gentle smile, a gentle wave of love. Allow the elements to come together and break apart at the same time. Living within you and all around you. And how it feels to have your heart open in this way. Creating this air of safety in this moment. Let's take one more deep breath. Thank you so much for practicing today. As we each soften within, we can meet others with an expanded heart. And their energy, if it becomes negative or toxic in any way, will easily be shifted out by our love, by our compassion. It's not going to hurt our heart. We have to trust ourselves to open and expand. Start within and practice a little bit with each person that you deem trustworthy. Begin to discern, know where your limits are. Also, take some risks, be brave. And remember that no time do we step in fear around any of the stuff we're working on, internally or externally, without any courage. So step in courage, and thank you again for your practice and for your light in the world. Namaste.